Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is Vivek Bansal. Today we are going to revise the chapter of Equalization Levy in the shortest time ever and have completed each and every point of the chapter. For the November 24 examination, I am expecting a Equalization Levy question which is from the section number 165. To be specific, I am assuming if the equalization levy will come in your examination, then it will come from the 2% rate only, because for the May and November 25 examination, this rate is not going to be applicable. So for your examination, this is the last attempt where the ICI can ask this type of rate. So I am assuming a question from the 2% rate only. So okay, so now without wasting any time, as you are just left with some few days for your examinations, I am just repeating the whole equalization levy concept for you in a shortest manner. Okay, see, equalization levy is charged under section 165 and section 165A. It is of a finance act, not the income tax act. Okay, now under section 165, where an NR provides online advertisement services to a person resident in India who is effectively doing business or profession. If the person resident in India obtaining the online advertisement services for his business or profession, or NR having a PE in India, if these are the case, these are the recipients, okay, and these are the provider. NR is a provider. If the NR provides the online advertisement services to these type of recipients, then the recipient on the payment will deduct a equalization levy at the rate of 6%. But there are certain exceptions to it. What are the exceptions? Exceptions are to the NR. What are the NR? Exceptions to NR. If the NR having PE in India, if there is a NR who is providing the online advertisement services, if that NR having a PE in India and the online advertisement services are provided effectively, that is connected to that PE itself, online advertisement connected with such PE, okay, and like the NR is having a PE in India and that PE is providing the online advertisement services to these kind of recipients. If it is so, then the equalization levy is not applicable. Okay, now if the payment to the NR is up to 1 lakh, up to 1 lakh means 1 lakh is also exempt. 1 lakh is also exempt. On or above 1 lakh, you have to pay the equalization levy of at the rate of 6%. So up to 1 lakh, it is exempt. It is above 1 lakh, then you have to pay the equalization levy of the 6%. Okay. Now the payment made is not for business and profession. If it is not for, if you are paying the payment, if you are paying for the online advertisement services and that online advertisement services is not for your business or profession, it is for something else. So if it is not for business or profession, then for that case, when you make the payment, you do not need to deduct the equalization levy. I hope it is very much clear. Now the equalization levy deducted to be deposited by the seventh of the next one to the government. But if you have not deducted, then the penalty will be equal to the equalization levy. If you have deducted but not paid to the government, then the penalty will be 1,000 rupees per day, maximum up to equalization levy not paid. If the equalization levy not paid is amounting to rupees 1 lakh rupees, so the only penalty for the non-payment will only be 1,000, 1 lakh rupees itself. So 1,000 per day is 1,000 multiplied by 100. So the 100-day penalty will be applicable to you itself only. Then if it is a reasonable cost that you cannot pay or deduct the equalization levy because of any of the reasonable cost that you prove to the government or to prove to the department, so in that case no penalty will be levied. This is the point number one. Now coming on to the point number two, that is the equalization levy 165A, which is very important for our attempt. Now here is the equalization levy. When the equalization levy will occur, here is e-commerce operator, ECO. Okay, he is providing some services. He is providing goods, services, or both to person resident in India, or person buys goods, services, or both using IP address located in India, or if a non-resident selling sale of advertisement to customer, if ECO is providing goods or services to a non-resident who is selling sale of advertisement to the customer, who is the customer here? Customer is a resident in India or accessing the advertisement through IP address in India, or sale of data collected from resident in India or uses that data from IP address located in India. If these are the recipients or he's a provider, issue is a provider, then on the consideration, not the payment, on the consideration, the equalization levy will be deducted at the rate of 2%. Now, what the point is to be taken care of, the consideration must not be received. It may be received or it may be receivable. Either it is received or it may be receivable in future. In both the cases, you have to deduct the TDS, or you need to deduct the equalization levy at the rate of 2%. Again, there is some exceptions. What are those exceptions? Equalization levy have P in India. Similarly here as well, NR having the P in India, here as well the equalization levy have the P in India. Okay, now what it says, there was an amount up to 1 lakh was exempt. What it says, issue turnover, not amount, turnover. Turnover is less than 2 CR. If it is 2 CR, then the exemption will be available, the exceptions will be available. No, here the case where the equalization levy will be applicable, but it is said less than 2 crore. If the amount is the total turnover of the ECO is less than 2 crore, then the equalization levy will not be applicable. Now, equalization levy will not be applicable if that equalization levy has been deducted under section 165. Means if you have deducted the equalization levy of 6%, if you have deducted the equalization levy of 6%, then you need not to deduct the equalization levy at the rate of 2%. I hope it is clear. So when the equalization levy of 6% and 2% will be applicable, when both can be applicable, see here what it says, sale of advertisement to the customer resident in India or accessing through the IP address in India. Here as well, 165 online advertisement services were provided. Here also good services of both are provided. So there is a clash of the online advertisement services. So on that online advertisement services, equalization levy of 6% and 2% both can be applicable. So in that case, the ECO turnover is less than 2 crore, then then the equalization levy will not be applicable. And when the equalization levy is deducted, is collected under the section 165, then 165A will not be applicable. But here is a catch. What is the catch? The meaning of the consideration. Consideration shall not include consideration for sale of such goods or services which are owned by. Consideration shall not include for the consideration for such sale of goods or services which are owned by. Who is owning such goods or services? Ownership of such goods or services are with the resident in India or the P in India having the NR. Both are the same, or both are looks like the resident in India, and the P in India of NR. If a NR is having a P, then it will be considered as an Indian concern, and all the taxes will be applicable as per the Indian concerns as well. So okay, so NR having a P in India will also be treated like a resident in India, and if it is connected with that PE, if the goods or services which are selling is connected with that PE, so the consideration shall not include these type of goods or services. Okay, if these kind of goods or services are are involved in this transaction, in this particular transaction, then the equalization levy will not be applicable. Okay, now interest on delayed payment under section 165 and 165A, in either of the cases, in 165 or 165A, in either of the cases, if you have delayed payment to the government, in both the cases, in either of the cases, then the interest will be applicable 1% per month or part thereof, 1% per month or part of the month. Which means if you have delayed for 1 month or 2 days only, if you have delayed for 1 month 2 days, then the interest will be applicable at the rate of 2%. 1% for 1 month, and 2 days at the part thereof will also be applicable for the 1% only. Okay, if you delay for 1 day on itself as well, then also 1% will be extra charged to you. Now, the equalization levy under section 165A is also need to be deposited, and here what we say, here we say 7% of the seventh day of the next month. Now what it says, that under section 165 it is for the monthly, but under 165 it is a quarterly arrangement. What it says, uh, at the end of the quarter, from June, September, December, March, the 7th of the next month, June, 7th July, September, 7th October, December, 7th January, March, what you need to be taken care of, the March is not 7th April, it's 31st March. It's 31st March. Under the March you have to pay you have to pay by 31st March. Okay, now for the penalty, if you have not paid the penalty, if you have not paid the equalization levy deducted, then it is equal to the equalization levy and the reasonable cause. If under the reasonable cause, there is no penalty in that case. Now few common points are there. What are the few common points? If under any transaction, if under any transaction equalization levy has been deducted, if under any transaction equalization levy has been deducted, then that particular transaction will not come under the scope of the income tax act, and the income tax will not be applicable to that section. It will be exempt under section 10 clause 50. Second point, for the penalty, if you are not satisfied with the penalties, so from the date of receipt of the order, you have to, within 30 days, you have to file an appeal to the equalizer, appeal to the CIT appeals within 30 days from the date of receipt of that order. Now, when, how will the government know that you have transacted? So the EC or the NR have to furnish a statement of transaction till when? Till the 30th June of the next financial year. Financial year. Okay. Financial year. If you have transacted today, then the next financial year, 30th June. Okay. So the coming 30th June 2025, you have to submit that statement of transaction. Now, if you have not furnished that statement, then the 100 rupees per each day penalty till default continues. Is there any upper cap limit? No, no upper cap limit is available here. So 100 rupees each day will be applicable. Now, revised statement. If you have done any mistake in that, in the original statement, then you have to revise that statement. If you then what is the time limit to revise that statement? That statement will be revised within 2 years from the end of the financial year in which transaction has been taken place. If the transaction has been taken place today, so from the end of the financial year, today the end is the financial year is 31st March 25. Financial year will be ended. From that 2 years will be given, means 31st March 27. Till here, I can file what? The revised statement. Now, if I filed any false statement, then there is a provision of imprisonment plus fine, the 3 years of imprisonment plus fine. I hope this equalization levy chapter is almost covers each and everything of this chapter, and I hope you are also able to recall each and everything that you have studied in the equalization levy. This half page or less than a one page summary will be applicable for your exams, and it is very easy to score 6 marks on from the equalization levies if it comes. Okay, if you want this PDF, then the link is in the description box. You can take that PDF from there. Now, from the 42 questions list which I have given to you, if anyone have not taken the 42 questions list as of now, the link is in the description box. You can claim your free copy from that. Okay, so now you have to do question number 5 and the question number 6, which are from the equalization levy from these topics. Okay, question number 5 and question number 6 needs to be done by your end, and let me know whether you are able to solve both the questions or not in the comment box. I hope your preparations is going on in the full swing for the examinations. All the very best for your examinations, and I hope you will get 80 plus in the current examinations, and write it down, the 80 plus target of your examinations right here in the comment box. All the very best for your preparations, and let's meet with all with more such videos where I'll be concising each and every topic for you in the shortest manner. Okay, thank you so much for listening, and all the very best for your examinations.